Namaste. This is the lecture of pharmaceutical analysis, and today's topic is primary and secondary standards. We divide analytical standards into two categories, primary standard and secondary standard. A primary standard is a reagent for which we can dispense an accurately known amount of analyte. For example, a 0.1250 gram sample of K2C2O7, known as potassium dichromate, contains 4.249 into 10 raised to power 4 moles of potassium dichromate. If we place the sample in a 250 ml volumetric flask and dilute the volume, the concentration of the resulting solution is 1.700 and into 10 raised to power minus 3 mole. A primary standard must have a known stereochemistry, a known purity, as it must be stable during long term storage. So the primary standards are for the duration of the long term storage. It can stable for long time because of the difficulty in stabilizing the degree of hydration even after dyeing. A hydrated reagent usually is not a primary standard. Reagents that do not meet these criteria are secondary standards. The concentration of a secondary standard must be determined relative to a primary standard. List of acceptable primary standards are available, which are given below. You can check further in your e-notes. Next is the secondary standard. The base NaOH is an example of secondary standard. Commercially available sodium hydroxide contain impurities of sodium chloride and other impurities you can see, and relatively absorb water from the atmosphere. To determine the concentration of sodium hydroxide in a solution, it is titrated against a primary standard weak acid such as potassium hydrogen phthalate. Next is the other reagents. Preparing a second standard often require additional reagents that are not primary standard or secondary standard. Preparing a standard solution, for example, required a suitable solvent, and additional reagent may be needed to judge the standard matrix. These solvent and reagents are potential source of additional analyte which is not accounted for, produce a determinant error in the standardization. If available, reagent grade chemical conforming to standards set by the American Chemical Society should be used. The label on the bottle of the reagent grade chemical is listed. You can check it. We can improve the quality of a reagent grade chemical by purifying it or by conducting a more accurate assay. Next is preparing standard solution. It is often necessary to prepare a series of standard solution, each with a different concentration of analyte. We can prepare the standard in two ways. If the range of the concentration is limited in one or two order of the magnitude, then each solution is best prepared by transferring a known mass of volume of the pure standard to a volumetric flask and diluting the volume. When working with large range of concentration, particularly those extending over more than 3 order of magnitude, standards are best prepared by a serial dilution from a single stock solution. In a series serial dilution, we prepare the most concentrated standards and then dilute a portion of it to prepare the next most concentrated standard. Next, we dilute a portion of the secondary standard to prepare a third standard, continuing this process until we all have prepared all of our standards. Cereal dilution must be prepared with extra care because an error in preparing one standard is passed on to all succeeding standards. So you can see this example of typically packed label for reagent grading chemicals. First you can see A, providing the manufacturing assay for the reagent. Here you can see. Then a note is also given as asterisk because its assay exceed the limit. And in the second, it does not provide an assay for impurity but indicate that the reagent meet specification and assay for the reagent which is provided. So you can see both the diagrams. So here we have completed this primary and secondary standards which we use for the solution making and in the assay preparation. Hope you will like the video. For any query you can comment below. Thank you.